Durdle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Durdle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and durdle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today we're playing Neyith of the Dire Hunt. Looking at our opening hand, we do have Temple of the False God, but we also have 2 lands and getting another land into play. So I think this one's keepable. Our commander is a 2/3 legendary human warrior 3/3. Whenever one or more creatures you control fight or become blocked, you draw a card. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 2 and gruel. If you do, double target creature's power till end of turn. That creature must be blocked this combat if able. A mountain into play for our first opponent, who happens to be Sethron Horloon General. Alright, haven't seen this before. A fellow Jumpstart commander. We'll cover them in a minute. It will be our turn. We get Basilisk Collar. Added a little bit more life gain, although this was in the deck. I just kind of glossed over it. So I did add 2 more life gain cards to the deck. We might see those this game. Let's get down. Temple of Abandon. Scry the top. See what we get. Nemesis Mask. That's the only real lure effect we have in the deck. Do I want it, though? I think we'll have to skip on it for now, just because it looks like I need many more creatures. Let's pass it off to the opponents. I was thinking of putting Bow of Nyla in the deck. Let me know what you think about that in the comments if you've played Neyith of the Dire Hunt, if it's a good card in the deck or not. I think it could be serviceable. Sethron Horloon General is a 3 red legendary Minotaur Warrior 4/4. Whenever it or another non-token Minotaur enters the battlefield under your control, you get a 2/3 Minotaur creature token. 2 and Rakdos Minotaurs you control get 1/0 and gain menace and haste until end of turn. Very good aggro commander. I don't know that it costs 5, but for the abilities and stuff, I think 5 is a fair cost for the Minotaur. Blighted Woodland into play for our second opponent, who happens to be Damia Sage of Stone. Really? I have to go back and check and see if these are all the same player or something. I've seen this like probably 1/4 of all the games I've played this week. Cover her in a minute. Thawing Glaciers into play. That's a card I haven't seen forever either. For our last opponent, who is Arcum Dagson. Uh-oh, that might be combo right there. Damia Sage of Stone is 4 black, green, blue for a legendary 4/4 Gorgon Wizard. Death Touch, they skip their draw step. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Arcum Dagson is a legendary human artificer 2/2 for 3 in blue. Tap, target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it. That player may search their library for a non-creature artifact card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle their library. A Mountain and Soul Ring into play for Sethron on their turn. In our turn, we see a Blighted Woodland. Yeah, I can live with that. Let's play Fabled Passage. Crack it. And let's see, what do we want to get? We'll probably get a Forest. Alright, and then let's play the Ulvenwald Tracker. Get a creature down. Nice and early. Then we'll pass it off to our opponents. So as far as threats go, Damia could be pretty much anything they want it to be. It really just depends on the build. Arcum Dagson could be probably, I don't know, control and combo. That has me worried a little bit. Nature's Lore for Damia. And Sethron's going to be full-on aggro, death, beat your facing kind of thing. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I do love me some aggro decks. Punching stuff is much more my forte than control. He is coming out next turn, though, which has me worried as long as they drop another mana source. That's a Forest in play for Damia. No fancy lands out of that. Over to Arcum. Island into play, followed by a Soul Ring for Arcum. Thawing Glaciers being activated. So the ability reads, search your library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library, return Thawing Glaciers to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next cleanup step. So it is a very slow 2-turn search for a land card, but if you have nothing better, I'd say use it. I used it in red for a long time before they printed better stuff. There's a mountain into play for Sethron. Are we seeing the commander come down this turn? No, Flame Shadow Conjuring. Nice. So a bunch of expendable beat sticks. That works out. Comes our turn, we get Expedition Map. Well, at least we'll have all the ramp we'll ever need this game. That's pretty good. So let's go ahead and play the Sylvan Scrying. go and retrieve any land we want from the deck. Definitely want another red-green source, I'm feeling. Let's get Rootbound Crag. It'll come into play untapped, which is nice. So let's go ahead and play it, and then let's get down. I'm thinking the Expedition map. That way we can crack it next turn. Should be good. Let's pass it off to our opponents. I don't want to attack anywhere yet, just to not increase anyone's ire. Sethron probably just going to start slapping the table around in the next few turns here. And I don't want to be the main target of that. Need to get some creatures down first. Swamp into play on Damia's turn. Mana Crypt coming down as well. I just played a game before this where I was testing out this deck, testing out to see if I'd get the life gain stuff. And it came to where somebody played an island, the Mana Crypt, and then a Rhystic Study. And one of the other opponents aptly pointed out that, is that even considered casual, a turn 1 Rhystic Study? I honestly couldn't answer that, so it's one of those things where you guys in the comments, you gotta let me know about stuff like that. Grow from the Ashes. Alright, and it was kicked. So anyway, yeah, like I was saying, that seems a little bit over the line on casual for me, but let me know in the comments if your meta is kind of like that. So, I mean, in paper, we don't see many Mana Crypts, so it's a little bit different. Chasm Skulker also coming down for Damia. That's a pretty good card. I also want it dead. That thing can leave so many babies after it dies, and before that it's huge and it just smacks you in the face. Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, unless it's on my side, then I love it. Over to Arcum's turn, let's see what's happening. Damia is way ahead on the mana. Hopefully Damia and Sethron are going to go at each other. Maybe leave us alone. Just sit quietly, lean back at the table, sip a Coke or something. Thopter's Spy Network down for Arcum. That'll be pretty good for him. Over to Sethron's turn, that's a mountain coming into play. Let's see what they'll do this turn. They could potentially Sethron, copy it, kill the copy, and have 2 Minotaur tokens? Ooh, Conjurer's Closet. I'm loving this deck design so far. That is not something that immediately occurred to me. Comes our turn, we get a mountain. Alright, starting to get a little heavy on the lands deck. Reel it in. Reel it in. So let's go ahead and crack the Expedition map. Go get another land of our choice. So glad they reprinted that. Although, I kind of feel for the people who got the full art ones. That is kind of a bummer. Great art, but still. Let's get Spire Garden. Seems like a good idea. It'll come into play untapped. But what do we want to do otherwise? I don't think there's anything else I want to do necessarily. Maybe just play the Basilisk Collar and call it a turn. I still don't want to attack Sethron. That could just be really, really bad for us. Let's pass off to our opponents. I do want to point out that in Commander Legends, in case you didn't see the spoilers, so here's a spoiler warning. Spire Garden and the allied lands from Battle Bond are being finished. The cycle, the enemy Battle Bond lands are coming in Commander Legends. Keep an eye out for those. Hopefully, enough of this stuff will be cracked that the price goes down. Battle Bond was not as much printed, I feel like Commander Legends will be. That's just a feeling. I don't have any confirmation on that, so just for reference, but I'm so happy that they're finishing the cycle. Chasm Skulker triggered, it gets a 1/1 counter. There's Damia herself, gracing the battlefield with her stony gaze. No attacks out Damia, off to Arcum's turn, they'll get a Thopter. Academy Ruins into play for Arcum, that'll be pretty good for him. Reprinted in Double Masters, by the way. Vidalcan Engineer. What is that from Darksteel? Tap to add 2 mana of any one color, spend it only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Okay. Basalt Monolith. That's a combo piece. Don't like that much at all. Off to Sethron's turn. Hopefully we're looking the least threatening on the board. It'll give us some time more to develop. I do want to get all this land play out of the way. Unfortunately, we haven't also really drawn anything we can play on like turn 5 or 6, so that's unfortunate. Could play our commander, but then I'd still have to take time to get all this land stuff out of the way too. Rage Blood Shaman coming down for Sethron. Trample. Other Minotaurs they control have 1/1 and trample. Flame Shadow Conjuring will trigger. Will they pay to copy it? It looks like they are. I was just thinking with Sethron, you could copy it, bounce that end of turn, pay to copy it again, and by the end of your turn, you could have him plus 3 other Minotaur tokens. That seems pretty good with the setup. Okay, now that they have the token, the question is, will they attack into whom? The Minotaur heading off into Arcum's direction. Seems pretty legit, as long as it's not us. We seem to be the least threatening. I hope it kind of stays that way. Opponents can fight amongst themselves. I'm fine with that. End of turn triggers. Conjurer's Closet will blink. Oh, where'd he go? The Rage Blood Shaman. Flame Shout Conjuring will trigger. They could have an expendable blocker if they wanted. It looks like that's what they're doing. And the original token will get exiled. Comes our turn. We got Forest. Dak, what you doing to me, man? Alright, well, let's play Blighted Woodland and crack it. Get some more lands out of the deck. Hopefully, we will stop drawing lands. Let's get a mountain and a forest. And let's pass it off and hope we stop drawing those lands. And end of turn trigger. Oh, that was fast. The Minotaur token went into exile. Damia has a number of triggers on their turn. Search for Tomorrow will lose a suspend counter. They might get the bop, and Damia will draw them back up to 7 from 2. Seems pretty good. Chasm Skulker will also be getting 5 counters, which is unfortunate for us. Damia did get the bonk. Chasm Stalker now a 7/7. That's gonna leave a lot of squid babies. Psychosis Crawler. All right, well, I hope we start drawing some removal. That'd be good. I could live with removal. Walking Atlas into play for Damia. Tap put a land card from your hand to the battlefield. Does help empty the hand though. So they'll draw more cards. Chasm Skulker gets bigger. Psychosis drains us for more. So, arch enemy number 1 of the game, Damia, Sage of Stone. Chasm Skulker on the attack into the Minotaur player. What will they do? Will they intercept? Damage is good. Did not think they'd intercept myself. So, what will Damia do, if anything, in the second main? The correct answer is nothing. That means Arcum's turn. Thopter Spy Network gives them another mechanical bird copter thing. I guess it's more like a dragonfly, really. Thawing Glacier's back into play. Midnight Clock coming down for the Arcum player. Didn't see that coming. Mana Rock, basically. Put a counter on it. At the beginning of each upkeep, put a counter on it. When the 12th hour counter is put on Midnight Clock, shuffle your hand in the graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards. Lots of mana got tapped while I was talking about that. What are they doing with it? The Magic Mirror. Likes to look at himself, does he? 6 blue, blue, blue for a legendary artifact. Spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. You have no maximum mana size. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on it, then draw a card for each knowledge counter on Magic Mirror. That is a lot of card draw. And attack. Thopter Bird Dragonfly thing off into Damia. Seems legit. Thopter Spy Network triggers, they'll draw a card. That's it for Arcum. Let's go over to Sethron. Still eagerly awaiting some more aggro out of them. It went off a little bit slower than I'd anticipated, but being Rakdos, and so far with only red sources, not much card draw. Midnight Clock trigger, and I'll stop saying that till it's destroyed or counts down. Yet another mountain into play. I wonder if they're masquered or if it's actually just mono red. Sethron, Harloon General. Alright, we have those triggers. Let's see how many Minotaurs they can make with it. There's the token. Token gets immediately sacrificed to the legend rule. Now they get 2/2/3 Minotaurs. There's the first one. Let's check out the art. Yeah, he's angry. Also, when are they going to do the female Minotaurs on a token? I don't think they've done that yet. They had a bunch of Namonket. Sethron not going to the attacks. End of turn, all the things are going to be happening. They could get even 2 more Minotaur tokens out of this. They stack it correctly. Going to bounce the commander. Sorry, going to blink the commander. Oh, we have a Nature's Claim and Response targeting the closet. Ooh, Damia not being friend of anyone. Good move, though. There are those triggers again. Let's see if they'll make the token. They do indeed. They'll get another Minotaur token. The token Sethron will die. There it goes. And they'll get another Minotaur token after that. And they have a, substantial army considering. Comes our turn. Let's see what we draw. Hopefully not a land. Yeah, it's not a land, just Gruul Rage Beast. Nice. Don't quite want to fight Damia just yet, though. Maybe with the Stonehoof Chieftain after we play the Gruul Rage Beast or something like that. Temple of the False God, let's get it down. Let's see, do I want to do a favor to the table, play Gruul Rage Beast and kill Psychosis Crawler? I probably do. I do want to get down Guardian Project next turn though, followed by our commander. That way we can start drawing some cards. Gruul Rage Beast, let's rage. Psychosis Crawler gets the munch and we'll pass it off. Nothing else to do here. Off to Damia's turn. Search for Tomorrow. They'll be able to cast it. Damia refills their hand. The Bonk Crypt and the Clock. So many triggers. Still not the most I've ever played with, though. Damia does take the bonk damage. Chasm Skulker will trigger. So many extra counters. Well, we can't fight that thing without Death Touch, and even then it makes a bunch of little squids. I think we need some kind of exiling remover. Unfortunately, we don't really have that in red and green. Walking Atlas being activated. They already played a land for turn. The Gitrog monster down for the Damia player. Oracle of Moldiah. Okay, maybe it's a straight up lands deck. I've run into a few of those this week. Temple of Malady coming into play. Damia will be able to scry 1. Temple of Mystery coming down for Damia, they'll scry again. Growth Spiral plus a bunch of lands? Yeah, it must be a land deck. Damia to the attack phase, will they send anyone anywhere? Chasm Skulker off into the Sethron. Oof. Well, at least they could chump it, that's pretty good. Alright, the chump block is good, no damage gets through. Chasm Skulker completely fine. Arcum Dagsum's turn. Lots more triggers. So many triggers. Magic Mirror will get a knowledge counter. They'll draw 1 card from that. Thopter Spy Network gives them a Thopter. Midnight Clock getting another counter on it. It'll be up to 4. They will be drawing so many cards on the back end of this. So many cards. Ethereum Sculptor down for Arcum. That should be helpful. Hopefully not part of any combos. Prototype Portal. What will they imprint upon it, though? Spine of Ish-Sha. Oh, no. What do we do about that? Also, if the Spine of Ish-Sha destroys things, what did the whole body of Ish-Sha do? Arcum Dagsum to the battlefield. Luckily, no haste on him yet. Arcum on the attack, 1 buzzer into us. That's unfortunate. Thopter Spy Network will trigger it. The damage is good. They will be able to draw a card. Over to Sethron. Helm of the Host. They are very much into the tokens in this deck. Sethron goes through combat, no attacks. The board is pretty clogged up with stuff except for our board presence. Hopefully we can change that in a bit. Comes our turn, we get Farseek. Oh, it's not a land, I guess. Go ahead, play Farce. Let's get down Guardian Project. Hopefully we can draw ourselves out of all these lands. And then let's get down our commander. Neyith of the Dire Hunt coming to the battlefield. We have a couple of triggers. Let's go ahead and fight the Walking Atlas. Oh, I forgot about the Oracle of Moldiah. Take it back. Take it back. God damn it. We get a command tower. That's okay. We'll get another card draw from the fight. Shadow Sphere. Man, that saved me my last test game. No, you have no idea. I'll tell you in a sec. Let's go ahead and play it, though. That way we don't have to play it later. And let's just pass it off to our opponents. Alright, so in my last test game, I was against, I think it was Teysa Karlov, someone else, and Kira Glass Spinner. 2 of the Era players quit because the Kira Glass Spinner player immediately went into Island, Mana Crypt, tap both, Rhystic Study. And I'd hosted the game, and as I've said before, I just put casual as the thing. So Teysa Karlov player rightly asked, how's that casual? I couldn't give them a good answer, and they ended up quitting. I like to stay and play the games out just to like test out the deck if I'm there anyway. And I had to fight through, and the only reason I won this game was because of Shadow Spear and its activated ability. I fought through an Ulamog the Ceaseless, was it the Ceaseless Gyre? I think that's what that one's called, right? No, Ceaseless Hunger is the Infinite Gyre. Platinum Angel, Eldrazi Monument, a bunch of like 14-14s and 17-17s. And the only other reason I won there was because I also had Nemesis Mask with the Offrin Frostfang on a Pathbreaker Ibex and was able to kill everything with Death Touch on the board. And they eventually just ended up giving up because I was finding a way around their indestructibility with the Shadow Spear. Basically, I had the perfect storm to beat them with. They didn't ever draw a Psycrift if they had one, so it was an interesting but very stressful game. My neck still kind of hurts. Growth Spiral. All the triggers had already happened. I didn't feel like I needed to bother with those. But Chasm Skulker getting even bigger. So, sadness. Chasm Skulker being very big. We'll just equip the Basilisk Collar and maybe just toss Ulvenwold Tracker at it, maybe. Obnixilis the Fallen. That's a landfall thing. 3 black for a legendary creature demon 3/3. Landfall when it enters the enters the battlefield under your control. You may have target player lose 3 life. If you do, put 3/1/1 counters on Obnixilis. So, it's pretty good. Trigger's already on the stack from playing a land. Let's see what they do with it. Oh, we're taking 3 life. It was a walking piece of paper. That's so rude. Another land into play. That's also an Evolving Wild, so I imagine there'll be another landfall trigger as well. Alright, so at least they're splitting it up. This 3 life drain going to Arcum. Evolving Wilds gets cracked, they'll go get a land. The Gitrog monster triggers, so they'll be able to draw a card. Chasm Skulker triggered, it gets bigger. Obnixilis triggers. This one went to Sethron. Watery Grave into play. Obnixilis triggers again. Will be taking the 3 life loss. I really wish at the moment I had a Blasphemous Act and something to give my Stonehoof Chieftain haste. That'd be awesome for me. Damia on the attack. The Chasm Skulker coming into us for 18. I probably need to block that. I think Neyith, unfortunately, is going to take the brunt of that assault. Let's go ahead and block with Neyith. We will put her back in the command zone. Skyshroud claim they'll go get even more lands to forest specifically this time, or at least forest cards. Obnixilis triggers twice. Arcum and Sethron the target of those abilities. Explosive Vegetation for Damia. Simic doing Simic things, or I guess this is technically Land Matters doing Land Matters things. Can't say my Omnath doesn't have turns like this. 2 more triggers for Ob. Let's see where they go. Boundless Realms, that's not good. Sethron and we will be taking the 3. Zombie Infestation, discard 2 cards, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. That'll be fairly good if it's a bunch of lands in the Gitrog monster. Damia finally done with their turn, finally done slapping us around with triggers. Off to Arcum's turn. Arcum Dagsum being activated, sacrificing a Thopter, so let's see what they get out of their deck. One of my favorite mass removals in artifact decks is actually Aligned Hedron Network. I really just don't think it gets enough play. That is a Mindslaver! Well, things are escalating so quickly I don't even know what to do anymore. You take a break, have a snack. Yeah. Mindslaver crack targeting the Damia player. That seems, I'd say legit, and it is, don't get me wrong, but Mindslaver is just one of those cards, you know? Just, it's no one's friend. We got a buzzer into us again, guess they just want the card draw. Although, they could attack someone else, no one else has flyers either. There's the trigger, they'll draw a card. Over to Sethron's turn, let's see if they can do anything. I'm starting to really want a Vandal Blast in this deck. Usually I have enough target removal that I can remove pieces here and there, but this seems like I kinda need a Vandal Blast, so... Although Wave of Vitriol might be better because it hits all that stuff. Duretti Scrap Savant coming down for Sethron. Alright, looks like we have a response out of Arcum though. Okay, it's just Thawing Glaciers, they'll go get a land. Let's see what they do with Duretti. I imagine they're going to tap Soul Ring, yeah there it is, sack it. Oh, Metallurgic Mimic, okay, so another tribal lord if you will. So this is 2 for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type as the chosen type in addition to its other types, and each other creature you control with the chosen type enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. A number of triggers are happening. Flameshell Conjuring, looks like they're going to pay for it and get another Mimic. Yep, there it is. And then Sethron has a trigger because the Metallurgic Mimic was a Minotaur. No activation of Duretti yet, so I wonder what they're going to do with it. There we go, Duretti going to sacrifice an artifact and switch it with the Conjurer's Closet. I imagine the token Mimic. Yep, there it is. And it's Sethron's turn. Conjurer's Closet will trigger. The token that is no more will be exiled, but it's no more. Conjurer's Closet, bouncing the Rageblood Shaman. That'll make another token with Sethron. When it comes into play, they don't have mana to pay for the triggered ability of Flame Shower Conjuring, so nothing will happen there. Thawing Glaciers will trigger, returning to Arcum's hand at the end of Sethron's turn. Comes to our turn, we get Eternal Witness. Unfortunately, that's not really going to help us with anything at the moment, so let's just keep that in reserve. Command Tower to the battlefield, please. Let's go ahead and play our Stonehoof Chieftain. Doesn't look like there's any counter magic available, so I think this will be fine. Alright, we have some triggers. Let's put the fight over on Damia. Our guy has Indestructible, so that's no big deal, and we'll draw a card off Guardian Project. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Alright, and then let's equip the Basilisk Collar. We can block, we can gain life, we can kill the things, it seems good. And with that, through combat, pass it off to our opponents. Next turn, I think Godzilla? That might be a thing, I'm not entirely sure. We do need kind of like a board wipe though. That is something I'm interested in. Or Azuri's Predation would be great. Off to Damia's turn. They will not draw 6 cards this turn because we killed Damia. That's nice, they will just draw the 1. Ooh, they sacrificed the Gitrog monster instead of sacrificing a land. Okay. Too bad they couldn't sacrifice Obnixilis. With Boundless Realms coming down... Oh, I guess they drew it. That's really going to be super dangerous for us, especially if they really, really, really hate us right now. Which, I mean, we did kill their commander. It can happen. Had I had enough mana, I would have made Stonehoof Chieftain fight Obnixilis after giving it Basilisk Collar, but there was no go there. Boundless Realms to the stack. Figured that was happening. Search their library for X basic land cards where X is the number of lands they control. Put them onto the battlefield. That's going to be a lot of drain triggers. Look at all those triggers. So uncool, man. I wonder how many of them will go at us. Looks like the first one's going to Sethron. Hopefully they'll still spread it out. Ooh, all of the triggers going over to Sethron. That'll bring them down to 1. That's vicious, man. That is vicious. To be fair, they do pose the biggest threat currently, but ugh. There it is. Resolve Sethron down to 1. Now all they have to do is drop a land and kill them. Also, Obnixus is obnoxiously big. I just thought I'd want to point that out. Damia on the attack. Chasm Skulker into Sethron. We are taking Obnixilus the Fallen. So I am worried about the one card they have in hand, but we are not blocking this no matter what. Alright, Stonehoof Chieftain, go! Alright, everything worked out. We gained 8 life, absorbed Obnixilus off the back of Stonehoof Chieftain, killed it, by the way. All is good and fair in the land, except for Sethron. I really do feel for that player. That was just vicious. Sultai Charm, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Where is it going? Oh no, not my Shadow Spear. Why would you do such a thing? It's so... well, it's not nice. It's kind of menacing, actually, but still. Blighted Woodland being sacrificed. They'll go get 2 lands. Good thing they didn't do it while Obnixilus is still on the battlefield. That would have killed Sethron right away. Oh, yep. Damia pointed it out. Totally forgot they were mind-slavered. Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. Whole lot more sense. Okay, my apologies to the Damia player. I totally forgot. Sometimes these turns take a long time. So, Arcum Dagsum using their turn to try and eliminate the Sethron player. Yeah, that's good strategy. Speaking of which is Arcum's turn. Let's see what they do with it. I do worry about them comboing off at some point. They did play a Shimmer Mirror at the end of the last turn. Midnight Clock triggers. The graveyard got shuffled back in, which means their commander is free to go and tutor it back out, which is not the best. Okay, so threat assessment. Arcum Dagsum. Yeah. Well then. Oh, there it goes. They're gonna search back out the Mindslaver, I wager. I hope it isn't us. We're probably not going to be the pick anyway. There's Mindslaver. Where will it go, though? It also sucks that you can activate at instant speed. There's the activation. Who is... oh, I didn't even get to see. Gotta check the log now. Okay, so not us. That gives us a chance to retaliate. So that works out. I wonder where they're going to hit all the Minotaurs with, though. I imagine to the Damia player, leaving us totally unscathed would be, you know, fantastic. I'm going to start wiping their board, though, with fight mechanics. That seems like it's a good idea. High Tide. They get a bunch of extra mana. Well, poop. Wonder what they have in hand. Hopefully not a Psych Rift, although they could just cast it after an attack. Oh, never mind. They're tapping it all now. Trophy Mage. Yet another Artifact Tutor. This one specifically for CMC3. Sculpting Steel, huh? Sculpting Steel to the battlefield. No Mindslaver, though, so that's nice. Helm of the Host. Okay, so now they have one. What will they do with it? Nevi Disc. Or Nevin Roll's Disc. I think I said that right. 4. Comes into play tapped. 1. Tap, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. That's bad. Mirror Retriever to the battlefield as well. So let's see. That means they'll just get Mindslaver back pretty quick here. Arcum Dagsum off to the attacks. Let's see where the buzzers are going. Still into our face. Very annoying buzzers. Go away. We'll take the 2. Nothing to do about it. Thopter Spy Network will trigger. They will draw a card. Over to Sethron's turn. Not Sethron's turn. Arcum has control of it. Mounted to play. 2 cards in hand. They are at 1 life. Fanatic of Mogus. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, deals damage equal to each opponent, equal to the devotion to red. So that'll be 6 so far, looks like. A number of triggers are happening. They do pay to make a token with the Flamechild Conjuring. Fanatic of Mogus will get a twin brother. There it is. Another trigger to the stack. That'll be 12 damage to each opponent. That might actually end up helping us more than hurting us. Arcum going to be in our kill range at that rate. So that is very interesting. Arcum down to 16, Damia down to 15, and we are down to 20. Alright, so this will all depend on the attack. They can kill Sethron if they swing out. They can kill us or Damia with a full attack. I don't think they can kill us both without doing a full attack. Either way. There's just not enough damage, I don't feel. To the attacks. Let's see where everything is going. Alright, Sethron, Arcum, whatever they're calling themselves right now, is all out attacking into us. That is very, very bad. So let's check some stats real quick. Okay, we'll have to be really careful on the blocks. It looks like we're going to be taking a absolute ton of damage. Alright, we assigned blocks against the 6-4, the 5-5 token, and the 5-5 commander. Alright, I hope we survive this. As far as my math is concerned, I'm pretty sure we do, but not by much. Okay, everything said and done. We go down to 8. We did survive. Just barely. The life gain off our Stonehoof Chieftain because of the Basilisk Car saving our butt. We would have been at 0. Okay, we still also retain our 2 biggest creatures to kill off our opponent with. We will be short some damage, and we will have to fight through some things, but I think between the Eternal Witness and our commander, we might be able to manage it. I'll have to double count the mana and see, just to be sure. Oh, unfortunately, we will be 1 mana short of that. Too bad we don't have haste on the battlefield right now, but we'll do what we can to kill Arcum. Durette being activated second main phase, they'll discard up to 2 cards and draw that many. Durette's ability resolves, they did not discard any cards to the graveyard. End of turn triggers. Mogus, the Fanatic, going to get bounced, probably do a bunch of extra damage. The closer we can get Arcum to death, the better. But let's see what he actually bounces. Okay, so if he does this right, we are dead, but let's see. There is a chance we can survive. Alright, nothing gets bounced. That's interesting. Thought he would have liked to kill us off, but we live. Fantastic. I can agree with this. Comes to our turn, we get a forest. Not terribly helpful. Let's go ahead and play that forest. Let's get down our commander. Seems like a good idea, and I definitely want it down the battlefield for its ability. Neyith into play. We have triggers. Let's go ahead and draw the card first, but let us fight. I'm thinking the Ethereum Sculptor. Yeah, it seems plenty good. Guardian Project will let us draw a card. Let's see what we get. A forest. Not helpful. Let's go ahead and fight. It's down. We get to draw another card. Damia, Anarch of Bolas. That would be great if we had if we just had 1 extra mana. Dang. Alright, let's go to combat. Unfortunately, Damia can't have its mana ability, if you will, activated, so that does make it problematic. Had that been able to happen, we would have been free and clear. Neyith's ability will target the Stonehoof Chieftain, and we will pay for it. Everything into Arcum. Let's try to get them dead so we don't have to be mind-slaved. Stonehoof Chieftain triggered on the attack. Our guys will gain trample and indestructible. Hopefully we'll be able to ram through enough defenses to kill them. Blocks have been declared. We have a trigger. We'll get to draw a card. They should be taking lethal damage. We get Urabrask the Hidden. Nice. Arcum down to -2. We did done it. Yay, we're back up to 24. Second main phase. Let's go ahead and play the Farseek. Get that out of the way. Hopefully nobody's going to straight up murder us, but us surviving is still pretty low to the ground right now. Let's get Cinderglade. Alright, and let's pass it off. Over to Damia's turn. The Bonk Crypt will trigger. Let's see if they get the Bonk. They do get the Bonk. They draw a card. Chasm Skulker will trigger, and it will get another 1/1 counter. Very dangerous right now. We can easily be overwhelmed by the Minotaurs and die. We'd have to block the Chasm Skulker. There's just nothing that's going to work. We only have the 1 blocker, so. Damia Sage of Stone re-entering the battlefield for that player. Damia to the attacks. Is it going anywhere? No attacks out of Damia. That works for me. Off to Sethron's turn. Hope we survive. Sethron can be somewhat easily dispatched, hopefully. Damia is going to be a little bit harder, but we'll see. If everybody just starts to hermiting up, durdling up, it might be much more difficult. Helm of the Host being equipped to the Fanatic of Mogus. Yeah, that will do some damages. Sethron player saying, alright, 1 life left. This is my destiny. I like the enthusiasm. This is down to the wire. We could easily die here. Very easily die here. Damia is only 2 Mogus tokens away from dying. So this all is pretty tense right now. The Fanatic into play. 6 damage to each opponent. Down to 18. Damia down to 6. Let's see what happens. If they want to win, they'll have to swing at us with everything. Because at the end of turn, they just Conjurer's Closet, the Fanatic of Mogus, and it's game. So let's see what happens. Hopefully they'll be distracted enough. Nope, everything able into us. That looks like it's game. But hey, at least it was fun. Let's go ahead, assign a blocker to the 6/4. Make sure we at least don't take that damage. This should be lethal on us, I think. Oh, down, -2. We got it. They got it on us. Whatever, just squish. Alright, I thought maybe we'd survive, but it was a long shot. So, now all they have to do is remember to blink that Fanatic of Mogus at end of turn, and Damia is down too. Yep, there it is. Okay, good game to our opponents. It was pretty fun, a lot of back and forth. We had a really slow start though, a lot of high drops, not too much ramp in the early game. Did get a few lands, a little more lands than I anticipated, but we'll go look over the deck, go over the changes. Not a bad game at all, it was very fun. There it is, the victory. Still won't let me say good game after the fact, that kind of annoys me. Let's go look at the deck. Alright, here's the deck. Both of my opponents sent me a message after the fact, and I clicked on it, right down here, you see it. It won't let me open the message, it just brings me back to the screen. So, I'm sorry to my opponents, it just won't let me and I don't know why. But definitely good game, it was a lot of fun, I enjoyed it a lot. So anyway, here's the deck. The only changes I really made to it, I took out the Brash Taunter, and I put in the Shamanic Revelation. Figured that might be good for us. Depends though, because we are really board state reliant on that, and all we have to protect the board in this deck is Heroic Intervention. Still a decent good card. They don't necessarily need to keep reprinting it every year though. I don't know, maybe they do. It's pretty good. Also for more life gain and recursion, I did put in Pulse of Murasa, and I took out, I forget what I took out for this actually, but we get to recur something in our hand and gain 6 life, and it's at instant speed, which is what sold me on it. It's at instant speed. So if you have nothing better to do, you can get something back, gain some life to pad your life total, even on the attack against you. I'm going to try it out. Didn't come up this game. Maybe I'll try it out sometime later. I do keep these decks around, as you see on the left side of the screen with all the decks. I do keep them around, pull them out occasionally just to go and have fun with them after the video series, see if I can do some upgrades. I like most of the decks I play, so there you go. So that's the deck. Again, as always, I will post the link to this deck as it stands right now in the description below. Tappedout.net is the website it will take you to. If you saw any cards in the video that you want to purchase for yourself, please use that TCG Player affiliate link in the description below and help out the channel. I'll appreciate it, and it costs you nothing extra. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I'm going to say good game to my opponents. That was just a really fun game. And I'll see you when we begin the next series. Heading off into Double Masters territory, some of the older commanders, and after that, Zendikar Rising. If only they could stop pumping out so many expansions, might get a breather, but at least it's exciting and new, right? So I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for coming to Durdle with us today. Hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that notification bell so you're always up to date with our latest videos. Please leave a like and share the video with somebody who you might think is interested. We also post links to our videos on Facebook and Twitter at DurdleMTG. If those are the forums you choose to use, please check us out there. Until we can Durdle with some magic again, see you around.